Hello everybody, this is BORK750 with Tactical Anarchy Airsoft. I thought I'd do a different kind of video for you guys today instead of the normal action videos with our helmet cams. I'm going to go to play CQB this weekend, and I'm going to change the spring out in my ICS M4. It is shooting about 380, 390 with a M110 spring in there right now, so I'm going to change it to an M90. Or at least that's what I think. The stock spring was shooting about 330, and that's what I'm going to throw back in there, is just the stock spring. So yeah, here we go. So I am by no means a pro airsoft tech or an airsmith, but I have taken apart, I don't know, I'd say at least 10 gearboxes, mostly G&Gs, but I've also done some Simas and Echo 1s. And I have to say that ICS is my favorite gearbox to take apart because it is so freaking easy. And I will show you exactly how to do it now. So, the split gearbox design in this is ingenious because it comes apart just like that. So you can see the gears hanging out right there. And then the top of the gearbox comes out like so, and that is it. Just put this aside for now, and then we just get ready to take the gearbox apart, or the upper gearbox apart, to change the spring. Now, this is still very similar to the way a regular gearbox comes apart. You just don't have to mess with any of the gears, which is really important because if you do not know how to shim an airsoft gearbox, you're gonna have a bad time. So really all we need to take this part of the gearbox apart is a Phillips screwdriver and an Allen wrench for the spring guide. I'll show you that when I get to it. Alright, now, the reason we need an Allen wrench is back here. There is an Allen screw that screws into the spring guide. As far as I know, all this really does is just make the spring guide more stable inside the gearbox, I guess. Not many other, well, at least G&G gearboxes do not have this on the back. And the reason we want to do that is because when we open the gearbox, we don't want this spring inside here shooting that way. Because it's happened to me multiple times. Let's see if it happens this time. Usually I'd like to start front of the gearbox. It's really your preference on how you're going to do it. See, that was fairly easy actually, especially compared to a normal gearbox. Usually you have to deal with all the gears down at the bottom here popping out while you got this spring, with its tension in there before you release it. Here's the stock spring. It's actually never been used in the field. I shot it a little bit when I first got the gun. As far as I know, it's never been used in the field. So I'm going to throw it back in here and see what kind of CQB legal FPS I get, at least hopefully. Now as for gear grease or greasing inside your gun, use white lithium grease. Seemed to work fine. I've used this in pretty much every gearbox I've ever opened and haven't had any issues with it, so I just like to throw just a tiny bit inside the cylinder. put this back together, we want this part right there to be flush with that cylinder. Cylinder in there. You can test your compression. Well, to get this new spring in here, use pretty much the same method that we used to decompress the spring. Now we're going to compress it with that same method. So here we go. There we go. It is back together. And I don't know, maybe a third of the time that it would normally take to put these of normal gearbox, non-split gearbox, normal version 2 gearbox, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. There we go. Spring is changed fairly quickly. The other nice thing is normal version 2s, you have to take this whole motor assembly apart too, which takes some time to put back together, but split gearbox, just throw it back in there, same way we took it out. Everything lines up perfectly. All we gotta do, put this pin right back in it. And there we go.